Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Husky Gaming 365, and welcome to Aviation Talks. Today is Thursday, January 17th. I'm here with Intel's 48.
Hello, hello.
We are here. We are back at it again on the Intel's 48 channel, and today's discussion is the well-expected or the long-awaited arrival of a new livery from an Irish airline. Our friends over at lingus has just gotten a new livery, announced January 2019, and I have to say it's on a screen right now, and I have to say that is absolutely beautiful livery.
I will admit it is a lovely change from that forest green or whatever, basically that shamrock green almost, that all of the airplanes have been for God knows how long now. So
yeah,
it is a nice change.
Oh yeah.
Nice to see that they're like, okay, it's time to redesign the airplanes. And it's not just some minor, we're gonna just repaint the fuselage of the airplane and leave the tail. No, it's a completely new design. Keeping the old logo, obviously. But they redid this from the ground up.
Oh yeah, it is I think that's beautiful. That's eye-catching. That's very eye-catching. I like the dark green on the dark green changing to the green little pinstripe on the front of the green, and I like the shamrock or the three-leaf clover they painted on the tail wing. I think that's nice. I like that. That's a great livery.
And this is the best imagery I can find, because right now it's a lot of it's CGI, computer generated imagery, because I don't think the new liveries have been spotted in real life. I literally just looked up Aer Lingus new livery on Google and found the best image I could, which is this one.
It's a very nice looking plane. Nice looking livery.
Yes.
I have to say it makes that A330 look like it just came out the factory.
Yeah, it's gonna make a lot of their older jets look brand new.
Oh yeah, great livery. I think it was a very, very good choice for Aer Lingus to finally change the livery after sticking to the basics for quite a long time. So I had to say it's definitely nice to see them admit, and they finally came to their senses and decided, we've had this livery for a bit too long. I think it's time that we give ourselves a new look. And I have to say, the new look is worth it. Definitely worth it.
This whole new livery thing, yes, it's exciting. New livery, awesome. It's not an overnight process to paint these airplanes.
No.
Because they have to, A, go out and buy all the damn paint. B, figure out which airplanes they want to do it to. Which ones they can take out of service to do it to. And then they have to go through the painstaking process of stripping the current paint job off, and then painting the new one on it. It probably takes a solid week or two just for one airplane to be repainted.
It's not easy. It never is easy painting an airplane.
They can only apply so many coats because obviously paint has weight to it, which is weird, but it does. And if you put too many layers of paint, you add weight to the airplane, and that's not good.
No, that's never good.
So that's why That's why you're seeing Southwest, for example, still flying Canyon Blue airplanes. Because they've got a lot of airplanes in their fleet, and it takes time and money and resources, obviously,
Oh yeah.
to repaint the airplanes.
Oh yeah. It's not easy painting all of those planes either. It's not an easy task. It's a very time consuming process.
Yes, it is. Alright, enough ranting on new liveries. Let's go to the next topic. Both of these topics today are credited to Husky as he told me about them. So
Here we go. The next topic is United. Our friends over at United Airlines have ordered more MAX 9s and more 777-300 ERs. I'm curious to know where these Maxes are going to be going route-wise. I hope they send one to my airport. That'd be amazing. I don't think they will, though.
Now,
but
some of you hardcore and keen-eyed viewers who will actually probably notice this is the 787 Dreamliner livery. And actually, on that note, it was confirmed. It must have been after we recorded and uploaded last week's podcast. United officially owns the 787-800, 900, and 1000. Own all three variants of the 787 now, and congrats to them.
Oh yeah.
Anywho, I had to point that out, that it is a Dreamliner livery on a 7.3.
Oh yeah. I gotta say, right now, it's that man. That is such a good looking aircraft. That is absolutely that is a beautiful, beautiful plane that Boeing has built. Absolutely beautiful.
It is.
You definitely can't go wrong with the Max 8.
And to think that, and this is kind of a reference to an older one of, might be like episode 1 or 2. It's hard to think that the 7.3 was A, much shorter, and B, operated the early models, the 1s and the 2s, the old school classic ones, operated on the same engines that the MD-80 uses. JT-8s.
Oh yeah, the old
And now
school.
look at them. They're longer, a lot more advanced.
Oh yeah,
smart.
And now they're running engines that are quieter.
That are probably 5 times as big and 5 times as quiet as the JT-8s.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot more fuel efficient.
Mm-hmm. And with a lot less fan blades.
Oh yes. And newer technology such as carbon fiber allows them to save a lot of weight when it comes to the airplane, which helps.
More fuel-efficient engines, which help to lower fuel costs and burn less fuel.
And actually, while we're on the topic of 7.3s, you may notice these winglets here. These are not scimitars. These are ATs. How I know the difference? The ATs do not have the little spiky bit sticking off the back of them.
And plus, the ATs
are only the Max. So there's just a little. That's how you can tell the difference. And obviously, Max has bigger engines too. That's the big thing.
Oh, there's a huge difference. Huge difference. If you were to compare a picture of a 737-800 and the 737 MAX 8 side by side, you can tell that the engines are much larger than the CFM56s.
The Max, when you put a Max, this is a Max. This has to be a Max 9.
That is actually that is the Max 9. Because if you put this Max 9 on the screen next to a regular 900 side by side and looked at them from the front, standing directly between the two of them, looking at them head on, it's going to be obvious that the Max is going to sit a little higher up because of the bigger engines. Oh, much. Oh yeah, those
That's the
engines are.
one thing I noticed when it first came to Columbus and I saw it in Southwest Coast. That's the one thing I noticed is that it's got a bit more height to it than
Oh,
your
yeah, those
average
engines are.
7.3.
Those engines are massive.
For
They're,
yeah,
they're
for an airliner in its category, those engines are probably pretty big.
oh yeah.
Leap
Now
ones, I think those are CFMs. I think those are the first generation leaps.
those are the CFM Leap 1Bs. The B meaning the B is the Boeing model, and the A is the Airbus model.
Yeah, so these are first gen Boeing leaps, pretty much.
Oh yes. Oh yeah, and a lot of people say that they don't really hear a difference between the CFM 56 and the CFM Leap. Well, the first thing you'll definitely notice is that the CFM 56 it buzzes when it's at full throttle, but the Leap, when it's at full throttle, it normally makes like a high pitched whining sound.
And also, the big thing is the standard 7.3, the bottom of the engines are flat. But that's because if they were round, there would be no ground clearance.
Oh no, they'd
So
be
the
scraping
regular
across
engines,
the
they're
runway.
flat on the bottom, so that way there's ground clearance. Otherwise,
Yeah.
a normal 7.3 would be just as tall as a Max.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, so there's a reason why they have that odd shape to them. If those engines were more round, they'd be scraping the runway.
Yeah, there's only so much and people like GE and Rolls-Royce and CFM can do when it comes to the diameter of the engines. That's about as big as they can make it and still have it pass being allowed on these airplanes.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously another big thing is the shark teeth on the back of the engines.
Yep, those also help to kind of deaden the sound or lower the sound.
Among the technology going into noise cancellation, foam and whatnot inside the cabin, which obviously you can't see because it's behind all that. It's behind like the interior walls and whatnot, and up in the ceiling behind the overhead compartments and mood lighting and whatnot. If you were to look up a picture of a 7.3 in the factory before they put the carpet and whatnot down, it's literally just a giant skeleton, and it's just wire after wire from stretching end to end.
Oh yeah, it's just a shell.
There is nothing exciting underneath the internal walls and whatnot inside the fuselage. It's just skeleton piping and wire after wire going end to end because of all the systems they've built into these. And some of them are redundant. Like there's two flight directors, isn't there? Or is there only one?
Well, I mean, there's a flight director system, but there is a larger LCD screen in the cockpit. It's full. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it's a fully glass cockpit now. It has a larger multi-function display, and I believe it has like more.
Is how they. So the MFDA, they can put the engines on it, but you're probably wondering, okay, when you sit in the airplane and you watch the ailerons go up and down, you're probably wondering how on earth they know if they're moving if an airplane doesn't have mirrors. That's what the MFD is for. They can punch a little button and they're just little lines that move along an axis, but when the pilot moves the column and the pedals, those little lines move, and that's how they know, okay, our ailerons, our elevator, our rudders are all working. Just a little tidbit.
It also tells them their angle of attack, their vertical speed.
Because most of the time, by the time the pilots are ready to check the controls, the tug's already disconnected and the guy walking with it on the headset's already unplugged his headphones and gone back to the gate.
Mm-hmm.
Because the tug only stays connected long enough to push back, and then the guy's plugged in with the headset long enough to hear the pilot give the okay that 2 good engine starts, we don't need to be towed or pulled anywhere. We don't need to be pushed or pulled anywhere. Alright, moving on. So this next one is kind of an interesting topic as it relates to airlines that we would like to see. Obviously, this is just a collection of images already. Other 3 images are from the top left, bottom left, and bottom right. I've all been used before. That Max 9 was obviously just on screen. I get all 3 of these airlines at my airport. Plus American, Spirit, and Southwest. And starting in March, I'll get Alaska. So it's nice to see that a lot of these airports, and we get Air Canada as well. That's the only reason Columbus is international. Is because the 2 Air Canada Express now, it's not Jazz. It hasn't been Jazz in years.
No, it's Express now.
Air Canada Express call sign is Maple, by the way.
But yeah, we also get.
If it wasn't for the Toronto flights, and I'm pretty sure Husky's in the same boat. We wouldn't be international airports.
No. And actually, I think we actually get 2 international flights. One is Air Canada, and the other is WOW Air. But I think WOW Air is more.
Yeah, but WOW Air Canada. WOW Air is another rant for another podcast. Just saying.
But we get Air Canada and WOW Air. We get Air Canada a little bit more often.
Yeah, we get them twice a day. Air. And I've got pictures sitting around somewhere. I've been going to the airport long enough to watch that. I can recall the days when it used to be Jazz and it was a white Dash 8 and who knows what colored lettering and leaf you were going to get when it landed.
Nowadays, when Air Canada lands, you only get a red leaf.
Years ago, the Air Canada flight was a Dash 8 with a DHC 8100. And now they're flying them on jets. It's not the same anymore. I mean, I think I've been there when the Air Canada jets landed, when Air Canada Expresses landed, whatever, Toronto's here. It's not the same anymore. I used to be all over the Dash 8s coming in. I know what one looks like when it's far away, the lights make an upside down triangle. That's how I knew it was a Dash 8. I don't know. We're probably not going to get Allegiant just because they fly to Rickenbacker, which is the big cargo airport where I live in Columbus.
Yeah, they're not going to fly to my local airport because they fly off and they fly over to Belleville in Illinois, which is half civilian airport, half military base.
And Rickenbacker for me is literally cargo and Air National Guard. And Allegiant is the only passenger airline I know of that flies out of there. And most of the time, it's 99.9% cargo, and it's dead as a doornail. There is nothing at Rick.
Oh, yeah.
Unless by chance you're down there, and the A&G's doing touch and goes or something, doing touch and goes with their 135s, or like when the hurricanes were hitting the coast, they were a lot of the jet, like NAS, Oceana and whatnot. They were sending all the Air Force bases were sending their F-22s and whatnot to us, get them further inland and get them away from any harm. But other than that, Rick is pretty much cargo and nothing. And Allegiant's one of those.
Mid-America's the same way. Because, let's see, Mid-America will get an Allegiant every now and then. And then, let's see, Scott Air Force Base only gets literally KC-135Rs. That's all they'll get. So it's either a 135R or it's an A320 or an A319, and that's literally it.
Now, we do get the occasional Antonov 124, And here's a good way to think about the 124. It's legitimately just the Russians' copy of a Lockheed Martin C5. It's the
Pretty
same
much.
exact idea. It's the same exact thing, almost, as a C5 Galaxy.
Mm-hmm.
There's
With
obviously the
C5,
bigger
it's
counterpart, which, well,
Well,
I'll
yeah.
probably never see unless I fly like Canada or something, or go over to Russia. There's the AN-225, but that thing is, whew, thought the A380 was big. Look up an Antonov 225.
Ugh. Ugh.
It takes 5 or 6 people to fly it,
Oh, God.
and it's big. It's designed to carry those low. Because the thing behind the Antonov 225, I'm going to go on a bit of a rant here. It was designed to carry the Russian space shuttle. Why did they design an airplane so big when we literally just modified a 747? And it carried it no problems.
Yeah. Which is weird to me because you need this really big airplane to carry something pretty small.
Yeah, space shuttle's not that big.
No.
It really was not that big. And honestly, really, the only area for people was up in the flight deck. All
Yeah.
5 or 6 astronauts sat up in the flight deck, and that was the passenger compartment. And you had switch and button and knob after one another.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe a little tiny joystick off to the left or right to move the aerovators or whatever they call them. And that was it.
Ooh.
The shuttle was pretty much computer controlled from either Kennedy or Houston.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
So, for here in Columbus, airline-wise, I'm not really sure there's... I think Alaska is kind of the... I think Alaska might be the last fork for a little bit. Because we get United.
Mm-hmm. I get United, I get Southwest, I get Delta, I get Alaska,
Which
I get Frontier,
I get
Air
Spirit now.
Canada.
They just started last year, March of
See, now what would be
18.
nice is it would be nice if we got Spirit. I would love seeing the yellow A320s come in. That'd be
I've got
amazing.
pictures of it. From October, we were there in October, and I saw they were coming in, and, you know, it got in 5:30, 6 o'clock. So, sun was going down when it got there, but it was still bright enough out that it was okay to stay and see it. Now it's, A, it's January, B, it's really flipping cold, and C, it's dark by 5:30. By the time I get home from work, there's no point in going.
Oh yeah.
Because you'll be there an hour. I mean, okay, it's an hour or 2 minutes. Okay, time to go home. It's cold and it's getting too dark to see anything. And I've been there. I've actually been there at night. It's amazing at night, but the nighttime is slow. There's not much.
Oh no. Normally at night the airport's in night ops anyway. That's how most airports are.
Yeah, we get arrivals, but after 7, 8 o'clock at night, there's going out there really isn't much. Just because of the whole noise, with the whole noise thing.
Yeah. Which again is just, the whole noise thing is just silly to me. But that's completely out of my control. You see, it would be nice if we had Spirit arrivals. That'd be amazing. It'd be nice if we had JetBlue. Hell, it'd be nice if
I
we
didn't
could
think about JetBlue either.
I would love to have JetBlue
I don't
down
know
here.
where they would fit JetBlue, how they would get JetBlue into the schedule though. But I would, JetBlue, even if it's only once or twice a week for a little bit. See, it's a new route. They see how it does, and if it's a popular route, okay, bump the schedule up. And if it's not so popular, okay, you know what? We'll give you participation trophy. You tried it, it didn't work as well as you hoped. Thanks for visiting while you did.
See, that'd be fantastic. And even if it doesn't work out, or even if they have to lower the scheduling,
Even if
or
it's
to the
only
point where
once or
it's like,
twice a week. Just to
oh yeah,
say. Because JetBlue is what? Predominantly like an East Coast New York airline. I'd love,
oh yeah,
Sun Country. If Sun Country really wanted to. Get
oh
those,
that, oh we,
get those low fare flights to and from Minneapolis.
oh yes, oh yes, yes,
Yeah,
it
and
would
I
be
only say
so good.
Minneapolis because, okay, yeah, Sun Country flies to Florida and whatnot. They're actually Minnesota based. Which
And
is weird for an airline that flies predominantly in the wintertime to warm areas. Perfect example being Florida.
Now we do occasionally, every now and then, we will get some countries either a 77-700 or 77-800. But it's so good when I look outside or I look on Flight Radar and I see a Sun Country come in. It's so good to see that.
Yeah, I'd like to see JetBlue or Sun Country at some point. Now, it may never happen.
Oh no!
But it's nice to think about. What are those airlines that you always see flying around that are like, ooh? And if I have to pick my favorite JetBlue airplane, it's got to be that FD&Y livery that they have. That tribute to the their FD&Y livery.
Oh,
A320,
yes.
I think it is. Gorgeous airplane.
Oh yes.
Even though
yes.
I've never. I think I've only ever found it once. Gorgeous airplane. Special liveries are something for a future podcast as well. That'll be a good rant or discussion. All right, I've got nothing else.
Well, before we go, I'm gonna end it off on this. And that's I'm happy with the airlines that come in now. But it's just sometimes it'd be nice to if Lambert International down in St. Louis County would happen to get more airlines. I just don't feel like we're getting enough. And even the airlines that we have now, it'd be nice to see like bigger aircraft. It'd be nice to see an A330 come in or a 767 that's not cargo fly in. That'd be amazing. Because sometimes when most airlines keep flying in with the traditional CRJ 200s or the CRJ 700s and the 900s and the 737s and the A320s.
It'd be nice every once in a while. I know that probably won't ever happen. The Air Canada, it'd be nice. Even bring those CRJ, the people that you bring on a CRJ, switch it up. Send them down in a Q400 every once in a while.
Oh, that'd be great having
I've got nothing
against
my airport and who comes, but just after a while, it gets boring. You're ready for change.
Yeah, it's like sometimes, I get tired of seeing.
Columbus, this is the second year in a row they've added an air. 2018 was the second year in a row they added a new airline.
You see, Lambert, it's been such a long time since they've added a new airline. I feel like we don't, every time we try to get an airline, we lose it. And it'd be nice to get an airline and keep the airline.
We got Spirit, and actually, on that, CMH Spotter on Instagram, constantly aviation related stuff on that. See if I can find it. I remember I posted because I follow our airport on Instagram, my airport on Instagram. I remember seeing them post about Spirit. Yeah, November 8th of 2017, it was announced that Spirit Airlines would begin service February 15th of last year. So the fact that we've already committed to 2 different airlines 2 years in a row who've never been to our airport is incredible. And Alaska was announced in August of this year. And they start in March. August of last year, correction, and start March of this year. So that's good for us. That tells you that there's people want to fly here. And maybe, Alaskan flying here, maybe they can, the Boeing Flight Museum's in Seattle. Maybe they can start running, deals or something.
That would be nice. It'd be nice to see Spirit out here. I would love to see the yellow planes come in, or seeing JetBlue, or seeing another airline that isn't the typical Southwestern American or Delta. Or if you're gonna send in those airlines, send bigger aircraft like an A330. I would love to see an A330 here. I would love it. Hell,
yeah, but see, here's one thing you have, we don't. You guys have Boeing. You guys have the F-18 factory.
Oh yeah, that is right.
We have nothing fighter jet related at Columbus anymore because North American long abandoned the facility at our airport. Their storage hangar. I think those hangars are gone. Yeah, those hangars are long gone, or some of them exist, but they're general aviation hangars now. Because the T-2 Buckeye was built here in Columbus way back in the day.
Now those hangars have just turned in.
Those hangars are pretty much either empty and locked, or the ones they do use are general aviation only.
Yep. So they used to have trainer jets in there, but now they have Gulfstream G550s and Lear jets in there.
Yeah.
And citations.
Times are changing.
Mm-hmm. It's kind of crazy. It's kind of sad to admit that times are changing, but like they are. And as time changes,
I hate to say this, but eventually we're gonna have it where airplanes aren't gonna need a pilot.
Oh God!
I don't know. Eventually, there's gonna come a time, and we may not be alive, but there's gonna come a time where all the pilot has to do is program the airplane, program the route in the airplane, get the clearance, and just tell the airplane, okay, once you're okay, all the pilot has to do is push like a go or a stop, and it will route itself and go.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that.
I have a feeling it's probably going to happen where all the airplane's going to fly itself. The airplane, it'll learn the airport layout, and it'll listen to a ground tell it how to taxi, and it'll make a map in its head, and it will do it. Pilot won't have to do anything.
Yeah, I would prefer someone to be behind the stick, just in case if something were to happen, they can be there to correct it. I don't know if I would.
Another interesting thing will be the replacement for the 7.5 when Boeing actually unveils the design for that.
Oh, that is exciting. I do want to know what is going to replace the 7.5. I'm going to miss the 7.5 when it does come for its time to go.
Yeah,
I really am.
It's got if you know your engines, it's the Rolls-Royce engines, that's an iconic sound.
It is.
That buzzing
sound
that those Rolls-Royce engines makes, which I think is why the Rolls-Royce engine is why the 7.5 is so popular. Because you hear that buzz, or you see a 7.5, for me the first thing that comes to mind is the sound those Rolls-Royce engines make when they throttle them up to full power.
Oh yeah, those engines sound absolutely amazing. You definitely can't go wrong with it.
That's gonna do it for this one. Once again, I'm CMH Spotter on Instagram. Anything aviation, I do post on there.
Links in the description.
Yes. If I remember. That is.
Oh, God.
Alright. Thanks for watching. We will see you in the next one. Like I said previously, if there's no podcast next week, it's because there's nothing really to talk about. It just so happened that Husky told me about Aer Lingus and United, and that was an episode right there. So, thank you for watching. This is episode number 4. Yeah, episode 3 or 4, maybe even 5. I've lost count at this point. Anyway, thanks for watching, and we will see you in the next one. Take care.